And we are live. Shout out to everybody. Oh, let me get that banner going. Shout out to everybody watching.
Yeah.
Let's say what's up to our sponsors real quick before we go into our pre show song. If I can find it. There we go.
Hey everybody, it's Jonathan Sanders here, Minister of Music at Redbridge Ministries. And hey, we need you. If you are gifted in media, you sing, you dance, you work with cameras, listen, there's a place for you here at Redbridge. If you want to be a part, contact us at 402-779-9823. I can't wait to hear from you. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, the boy got skills. I was able to get up, run, and go grab my tablet. Just that quick.
just straight buried.
I'm like, I'm not on camera. I gotta run now.
Really, I look. Nobody would have even known if you hadn't said anything.
Right. Shout out to our sponsors. All right, let's get to a pre-show song right quick.
Hey, Seth, what's going on, man? Hey, listen, it's Luke over here. Listen, we listened to the record. We loved everything. I mean, just a phenomenal job, man. You really put your heart and soul into the project. It's just, like we talked about before, could you just maybe cool it with the Jesus stuff for a bit? Just give us a call, okay? You know the number. Hit me.
Stockpiling for 2 years straight, about to drop it all. Taking over's the goal, not drop the ball. Crooked refs in the game, you better watch your calls. We here now and on a whole nother tier now. The door open, we just stepped through with His grace. Made it easy like we slept through it. My music, Holy Spirit manifest through it. Giving strength to the end user, they're blessed through it. Whack MCs wanna talk about His airtime, selling they soul for some airtime. I said, God, it isn't fair. I'm seeing my dreams get pushed back further than LeBron's hairline. He said,
son, in due season, you'll see your harvest. Keep planting seeds up in that garden.
yeah, let not your heart be troubled or be hardened. You on the bench, kid, but tonight you're starting. Splash, fade away, trade for the win. All glory to God, cause the team is all my friends. And no matter what, we're standing tall up till the end. Cause we will never be bought, cause we never pretend. 100% authentic, original, forget egotistical sand ones, we have a different view. Staying true is the principle. Come and walk a mile up in our shoes and realize if we didn't, who spit the truth? We ain't going down that road, selling off our soul, fitting in your mold, just to make it greenback.
Just to make a greenback.
Nah, never.
Nah, I ain't headed down that road, selling off my soul, fitting in your mold, just to make a greenback.
Just to make a greenback.
Nah, never. Nah, never. Nah, never. Nah, never.
I gotta keep it moving forward, cause if I don't, then it means all of these gifts in me are laying dormant. And wasting your talents is the worst form of torment. My purpose died, but I serve a God who would restore it. Now your ears are locked in my words like they're important. Yet it's only by His grace these vocal cords are worth recording. Cause it was His mercy that woke us up this morning. That's why after every win we give Him all the glory. Oh, this is boring? Then turn it off, cause fake compliments are worse than when the doc says to turn and cough. On the road to success, we never swerve at all. Sober-minded on the straight and narrow till the curtains fall. See, in life, there's no refs to reverse the call. Zero handouts, nah, stripes you earn them all. Yet in this give and take world where they burn it all, God Himself came to save and serve us all. That's why we raising up activists. Yeah, label execs want us all sipping activists. Artists looking lean with egos inflated like a bag of chips, hoping that one of them go and crash they whip. So royalty checks, they don't have to split. It's a web of deception we refuse to be captured with. Armies of heaven's angels is who we standing with. That's why in the ring we force the industry to tap it quick. We ain't going down that road, selling off our soul, fitting in your mold, just to make a greenback.
Just to make a greenback.
Nah, never.
Now I ain't headed down that road, selling off my soul, fitting in your mold, just to make a greenback.
Just to make a greenback.
Nah, never. Nah, never. Nah, never. Nah, never. Nah, never.
Yeah. That was dope. I like that.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Let me fix your mic right quick. There we go.
Am I good? Am I good?
Yeah, I'm just turning you up because I
Okay.
think I'm louder than you.
Turn me up. Yeah. Nah, that was actually really dope. I really like that. That was that's the type.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I added that to my
Yeah,
follow
at least-
list there.
What's the who was that artist? I
I don't
see
know
it.
how to say
Cephas.
Yeah, is that how you say it?
Yeah, Cephas. So like that's that's another way you say Peter's name in the Bible.
Oh, okay.
Like in the Greek, yeah, like the Greek guy. So but like his name must be Peter in real life, or his name could be Cephas in real life. Maybe his parents was like, man, we extra saved, man. Let's just call him Cephas, you know. You know.
All I know is I really do got some skills, so I want to listen to his albums. I really
I'm
like
about
that.
to. I'm going to Apple Music now to see if I can find this guy, Cephas, Cephas. If you're looking at us on Facebook Live, first and foremost, grace and peace. Holla at us. Let us know that you hear us and that you feeling what's going on right now. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you said the name of that song was called Nah.
Yep.
Yeah, I see him on here.
NAH. I found him on
yeah.
Spotify, so he should be in.
Yeah,
Apple
he
Music.
on here. I see him as an artist. Yeah, I'm trying to find.
So I'm glad
songs,
that you
but-
look at Apple Music and I look at Spotify, so we can let people know if it's not there.
Yeah, it's on there.
Most
It's
of the
on there,
time,
and
it's
this-
on. If it's on one, it's on both, though.
And I'm adding this to both my playlists. I got a playlist where it's like some of everything, and then I got a playlist that's like straight Christian and gospel music, because my wife don't listen to everything like I listen to. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so I got her in the car. We
Yeah,
go
I got just Christian, and then I have some that's not, but I don't mix it together.
then you got your ratchet music. No, sometimes I think it's like some of my like a lot of my Christian music, like I'll put it on the other list because it's like, yo, this is dope. Because I'll sit in the classroom, like I'll play my music in front of students, and so like every so often, like they'll get hit with something. They'll be like, hey, who is this? And I'll be like, yeah, that's Cephas. You know what I mean? And so forth. like they'd be like, okay, they're like, that's dope. Yeah, and I'm like, I know. But then
Right.
like, yeah. So anyway, man,
Let's get this show started.
Let's do it.
Humble Kingz Radio Show.
Yeah. Humble Kingz Radio. T Barlow here with the co-host that does like less than me, but not as much as me, who does the most. The one and only DJ. Yeah. I started to say the co-host who does the most. It's like, that's me. You better get my title.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hope everybody's doing good, man. Shout out to everybody who's with us right now on the Humble Kingz radio show. Yeah. Jason LeBlanc, what up? I don't know who. Underground CHH, are you kidding me? Yes. We got that underground Christian hip hop. Yes. It's out here. Yes.
You about the every song that we're gonna try to do this every week. I spend majority of my day right before the show starts looking for songs that's no older than a week old during the actual show. So some of these songs that we're gonna play today literally came out today.
yeah, that's dope.
So
as shows we trying to be on top of it.
Right, try to. We'll see if it worked out. It worked out last week, so let's keep it going.
And last week, man, we actually, the outcome was we didn't have any garbage songs, right?
Right.
We did have one song where we was kind of just like, hey, I'm not a super huge fan of it, but like I can see why people would like it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, or whatnot. But like having said all that though, we had a lot of hitters, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what we got tonight. That first joint that was just played by Cephas called Nah. It's already on my playlist because I thought that was dope, and so hopefully, we'll be adding some more stuff. A shout out to the rest of the Humble Kings who are with us in spirit, but they're just not here. I'm kind of excited, man.
Real quick, let's get to our sponsors right quick.
Yeah. We'll come back and talk. Yep.
Yeah, shout out to Red Bridge Ministry. Don't forget Sunday worship. You're looking for a church, Sunday worship every Sunday at 10 a.m. at 5020 Grand Avenue, Omaha. That's right behind the Walmart on Ames. And they're live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter on Sundays. And don't forget their Bible study every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Again, on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And again, that address is 5020 Grand Avenue, Omaha, Nebraska. The church is literally right behind that Walmart that's on Ames. And shout out to First Student. They're now hiring $18.75 an hour. That's starting off. $1,500 hiring bonus, $2,000 hiring bonus if you have experience, and they train. So hit them up. Tell them that Humble King sent you. Both of these. If they ask you where you come from, say Humble King sent us. And that's the mark right now. We got to go to some music here.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's get into some music, and we'll be back.
Humble Kingz Radio Show.
Don't mess up. There we go.
I'm leaving on a jet plane. Yeah, I packed my bags and sold all of my things. 'Cause y'all used to rock with me, then I got a little buzz. Now y'all don't rock with me, showing me no love. So I'll be on my way.
Where the love at?
I'll be on the
It took me a while to notice a few things. Friends and fam claim to be behind your new dreams, but when the time come to show love, they use things. Every excuse in the book not to pull strings. After all your dreams is not that priority. I put years of hard work for my seniority. People I don't know recording and enjoying me. Unfortunately, friends cordially ignoring me. I've been written off like I was the average Joe. Hit the bottom and they quick to hit the gas and go. Look around, they disappeared like the Casper ghost. But you gotta stay focused, let your passion grow. 'Cause you need it, you believe it, people see it glow. And they fiending for the season and to feed their soul. If you really in my corner, then I need to know. So let your yes be yes and your no be no.
I'm leaving on a jet plane. I've packed my bags and sold all of my things. Y'all used to rock with me, then I got a little buzz. Now y'all don't rock with me, showing me no love. I'll be on my way.
Yeah. A prophet isn't honored in his own hometown. Wise words of Jesus before the gold crown. It's hard, no sense of walking with your nose down. Keep watch, no time for eyes to be closed now. My mind steady going as I'm strolling down the street. I see the pain and poverty all surrounding me. Even the actions of my friends express doubt in me. Life is full of trials that steady rules out the weak. I say a prayer for my kids and lay them down to sleep. Dreams come to fruition, no longer counting sheep. I wish someone told me this in 2003. I was young and any advice was sounding cheap. My enterprise was energized by a forgiving God, who solidified in my mind that I'm meant to shine. With a vicious grind and a soul that's intertwined. It's dinner time, I'll call it shots like the Pentagon.
Tell 'em I'm leaving on a jet plane. I packed my bags and sold all of my things. Man, y'all used to rock with me, then I got a little buzz. Now y'all don't rock with me, you showing me no love. I'll be on my way. I'll be on my way.
Humble Kingz Radio Show.
Yes, and we are back like spinal fluid. And I gotta tell you, that was Daryl Dominic, No Love,
Yeah.
featuring V Rose.
I really like that second verse.
Yeah. Honestly, I was about to say like when he first started off, like I didn't feel the way he started.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know, it's like I don't know what it was, but eventually, like it's almost like he got into his pocket, as that first verse progressed, and then when he came into that second, you know, like he just got better, and so yeah, that song made it to my playlist. And yeah, I definitely dug the beat. Yeah, I definitely dug the beat of it. The vocalist was good, good mix. When I went and looked him up, I noticed he also it looked like he had some joint or some type of project that he did with Dayton at some point. I'm gonna say, why I hear myself? That's weird.
Because I needed to check the audio real quick. I forgot to check it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
yeah, no, it's all good. No, I thought it was a dope song. I feel like this is one of those songs where it's almost like there's actually a story behind it as to why he wrote it, and I would love to know what that story is.
Yeah, because I never heard of Daryl Dominic before, but I know V Rose. I play a lot of her songs. She's one of my favorite artists.
Really?
So she do a lot of, so she's on a lot of features of a lot of rappers, and I love listening to her stuff. So shout out to V Rose. We had the same birthday. We share the same birthday.
Okay,
That's how much of a fan I am.
I got you. Hey, listen, ain't nothing wrong with it, man. You find you a dope artist you like and follow them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to look into him. But he's probably been around for a minute. Who knows? I don't know. But like I said, it was weird. Like when I first started rapping, I was like, he must be new, like at this. But then it was like the more and more he started rapping, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's not. Like that's his thing. You just sometimes you have artists, man. You just got to get used to their style. Like Timothy Brindle, for example. You know, you just got to get used to that man's style. Like 'cause when I first heard Timothy, I was like, yo, this dude's style is weird. But it's like he's spitting though, but it's weird. Like it's strange, like how he's doing his words like that. But everything he's saying is dope in the way and then it got to a point where it's like now I expect to hear Timothy sound like that. If he sounds like anything else, I'm probably gonna be like, oh man, he turning whack, because it's like his style was so unique. Like he didn't you couldn't really listen to Brindle and be like, it's not easy to listen to somebody like Timothy Brindle and be like, hey, he sounds like no, he doesn't. What I mean, and so forth. He doesn't, and so I think that's what it is with this Daryl guy. But nevertheless, though. I want to probably check out some more of his music and stuff like that, man. So if you're watching, get into the comments. Let us know what y'all think about this music as we're playing it, man.
Shout out real quick to Samantha. I just love saying shout out to her. And it actually last week it threw me off because she changed her last name on Facebook because she got married. So when you said it, I was like, who the heck is that? Who are you talking about?
Listen, you know what? It dawned on me. It took me a minute to figure out who actually was. Because I'm saying, oh, Samantha Hawkins, this, that, and the other.
Right.
And then I was like, yo, what's up, buddy? Grace and peace to you. When I saw, It's awesome. You know, like you said, I thought you were the co-host who says the most, and I was like, well, how does this Miss Hawkins know this about me?
It throws me off because I'm like, you know, and then I'm like, oh, it's our biggest fan, right?
It's Sam Francie, but it's not Francie anymore.
It's not Francie anymore, right?
She done got married and got fancy, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's good to see you, Samantha. We miss you. Haven't seen you in a while. So
yeah,
you know,
yeah. Shout out to Bunny. Shout out to you. She always comes. She been coming in every week.
Hey, matter of fact, now I think about it, like Bunny jumping on just made me think about how our boy Andre Wright. I don't know if you saw.
Yes.
Homie, he got his music in the stores now.
In the store, bro. That's that's awesome.
So shout out to Homers for supporting local Christian hip hop like that. Andre Wright's been working hard, man. Like if y'all don't know who that is, get familiar. Type in the name Andre Wright, real name.
Facebook, Spotify, and on Apple Music. So
yeah,
go get it.
Yeah, he everywhere. That his latest album came from the bottom. From the bottom. No, from nothing. I think it's from nothing. I feel like I remember the word nothing.
Started from nothing. There we go.
Yeah. Bunny right now probably talking trash about it.
She probably yelling at us right now. Like,
get my man's album name right. You know, started from nothing. Started from nothing. Yeah. I'll probably
put that on your playlist. Put it on repeat, like I do.
Yeah. Do that. Yes, please, by all means, man.
Just make a playlist of local artists like I do, and just keep that sucker on repeat. Let it play.
Just turn it down at night. Just go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know. Let it play. Let it play loud. I don't care. Sleep to it.
At night it's playing by 3 different. So you know, Manny's playing it, my daughter's playing it, and then when I remember to play it, it's playing. So a lot of times, but it does play all day in our house though.
You're probably part of the reason why when I go and look at my bank at DistroKid, I be saying like, oh,
you got 12 cents. Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably in. Bro, I'm telling you, it's nuts. Jerron Devereaux came to the house the other day. So he came to the house. It's so happy, and I'm showing him some stuff with a computer. And Jerron Taylor and Crossbearing Nation started playing. And so he looked, I was like, yeah, bro, that's all day. I say it's on repeat. So it's all day. Like, I got to get y'all these plays. Like,
we need them. You need them. When y'all Googling Andre, Google T Barlow. No, let me stop.
Right.
Anyway,
support. Bunny said hashtag support local. That's what's up. That's it. Indeed. Right there.
And you know what? And here's the thing, yo. So I feel like this is a nice way to segue kind of like into our conversation because, you know, right now the stigma is that Christian hip hop is dead, or that it's a dying industry, this, that, and the other. And matter of fact, so you may see the phrase like CHH. Like if you clicked on me sharing this link and you see on me saying CHH stands for Christian hip hop. Now, to me, I'm gonna tell you, like, I sit from a position of where Christian hip hop can mean 2 different things. There could be the industry of Christian hip hop, and then there could be just the artistry of Christian hip hop. You know, so like the type of art that I do Christian hip hop, which means that like I rap about Christ. You know, all my music is gospel centered and so forth, right? I am a Christian hip hop artist. You know, like if I took it as a genre or whatever the case, you may, you know, however you want to classify it. You know, you can also classify it as gospel rap. You can classify it as Christian rap. Whatever the case may be, all of those terms are synonymous to me. You know, if you want to just say, well, yo, you're just a rapper, fine, whatever. I'm cool with that too. Just know that when you listen to my content, it's going to be Christian content, right? That's just, you know, that's me. That's why I'm sitting with it, right? Mm-hmm. But there's some folks who look at it and say, hey, well, the industry of CHH, they say, well, CHH is a dead industry. It's a dying industry. And I think a lot of that comes from just the idea, just the fact that like what's popular within the industry, it's not necessarily Christ anymore. It's being able to just make good music, I suppose. Maybe inspirational music. You know, they say, well, you don't have to say Christ in every song. And I would argue, I'm like, hey, that's true. You don't have to say Christ. Like, I don't just listen to music that just talks about Christ. And that doesn't make me a better or worse Christian or anything than anybody else. I'm just saying, like there's folks, there's been that debate about how much, like if a person mentions Christ this many times as opposed to a person who barely mentions him at all, does it make him more or less of a Christian hip hop artist? And then you end up getting into like these weird philosophies that kind of like creep in. Just these notions that are kind of based in like a pseudo Christianity, like it's it's that nominal Christianity, right? And whereas it has like a Christian flavor to what some of the stuff that you're saying, and you could probably make an argument from a scripture, whether it's taken out of context and not, and you start having like these weird like views, or maybe not even necessarily weird, just views that kind of like just go against the grain, and then somehow along the line it just gets to a point where all of a sudden now, and this is what's happening to like a lot of guys, all of a sudden now you're just down like you just start forsaking the Christian title. You'll start forsaking, for one, you start forsaking it when it comes to like your music. Well, I don't do Christian music, I just make good music. Okay, that's fine.
Right.
And then it goes to now I don't even want I don't even want to be labeled a Christian. Maybe like I follow Jesus, but I don't want to be labeled a Christian. Which like this is some of the weird stuff that you get, which doesn't make sense, because a Christian is the name given to people who follows Jesus. However, there are some people who've taken that name in vain. Completely different conversation, right? And then sometimes it gets to the point to where it's like, yo, I don't even know if the Bible is true. Oh, I don't believe the Bible, or I don't even believe any of this now. And so now, you got these folks who have built the fan base in Christian hip hop, who leave the faith, just start making whatever type of music or whatever, and they leave their fan base either confused or the fan base is kind of like, okay, well, you know what, do you, man? You still make dope music. I'm gonna listen to you. This, that, the other. And so that's kind of been like this. That's a very nutshell of synopsis of what's been going on for, I don't know, how many years would you say? Let's say like the past. Let's say past 10 years.
It's probably been going on longer. It's just
probably, yeah.
But you have social media, and you have some artists that's a lot bigger.
I was just about to say that, like with social media, I definitely believe that the information gets out there a lot faster, and so forth. And so in comes this conversation now, right, amongst us theologians, who talks about salvation, and the idea whether or not if salvation is something that can be lost, and this is is it that these people were never saved in the first place? Are they prodigal for a season, or can salvation be lost? Is
that a thing? Prodigal for a season?
Yeah, that's the whole point of the prodigal son. So look at it like this. Okay, so think about this. There's a time where Jesus, I think it's John chapter 8, where Jesus is talking to the Pharisees, and what does he tell them? He says, "You're of your father, the devil," right? He tells them that. He basically makes a distinction, like, man, there's children of God, and then there's children of the devil. So, not saying that Satan births anything, but like he's trying to make a point to say, like, listen, you're not part of God's family. Even though you are the religious leaders, you're not part of God's family, right? So he says, you're of your father, the devil. And then we see this parable. In this parable, you have a father who has two sons. This is a son. The parables that he tells in this particular narrative, right? It starts with the parable of, I think, like the lost coin, and then the lost sheep, and then it goes into the parable of the prodigal son. All of these parables, it's not necessarily about the coin, and it's not necessarily about the lost sheep, and it's not necessarily really about the prodigal son. It's about the father's everlasting love. Right? And so if this guy was a son, right, and he goes prodigal for a while, eventually what happens is he ends up coming back home to the father, and the father is just ready to receive him, right? So I would argue that the prodigal son is not a conversion story. It's a story of God retrieving that which is his, that was lost.
Yeah, I don't look at it as a conversion story. I look at it as somebody who... So the way I look at it is someone who is not necessarily leaving the faith. I don't know how to describe it.
Right, no, but it's just like what I said. They were prodigal for a while.
Right, like you're just sinning.
Wilding out.
Right.
You're
sinning.
You have a season which you fall into sin.
Right. Yeah. Mostly what happened to young people that grow up in the church, right? We know what we're supposed to do. We get old, and then we run off, right? And God's sitting there like, when you're ready to come back, when things hit the fan, and you're at your lowest. At some point, you're going to hit your lowest, and you're going to be like, man, it was so much better when I was being obedient to God and let me go back. That's how I look at it.
Remember, yeah, you're going to remember God. And that's how the prodigal son was. He was like, man, like my servant. As a matter of fact, he came back with humility. See, like there's a lot of implications in that parable, man. That like I think about when I look at the church today. You know, like what did this son do? The son went to the father and said, "Listen, release. It's my time for harvest. I need my blessing now. It's a blessing out here with my name on it. You got it. I need you to release and give it to me." Right? Which sounds a lot like a lot of the way that like a lot of people,
all of us, at some point, all of us have thought about did it. I need my money now, God. Just give me the money now, and we ain't ready for it, right?
Right. I'm trying. I declare and decree that it's my.
I'm going to get $1 million. Blah blah blah. You keep saying it. And then God gives it to you, and you're not ready for it, and then you lose it all, right?
So the son comes to that, and the father's like, okay, he gives it to him, and he leaves the son to his passions, and then this son goes and he comes across hard time, which again, systematically, if you're looking at scriptures, there's things you got to understand about God. He controls things. Okay, now he doesn't puppet people, but he controls things. So a great famine hit that land. Yeah, that's God's doing. You know what I mean? That God, that a famine hits that land. This young man falls onto hard times after squandering what he was blessed with and whatnot, and got down to the point to where he was at his lowest. And for the Jews, I like how Jesus mapped this picture. He was like, yo, man, he was getting ready to eat the slops that the pigs was eating. He was looking at what the pigs was eating. It was like, yo, that look good, And it's one thing to eat a pig, but to eat with them. Like to put your mouth where they put in their mouth, like Jesus was painting a very graphic and gross picture to the Jewish community. They're like, with the what? Not an unclean pig, And the son is like, all of a sudden he's like, oh man, like my servants eat better than my father's servants eat better than this. Mm-hmm. I don't even deserve to be called a son if I can just go back and be called a servant. Right. So he went from this place of pride to a place of humility, and he comes back, and here's the father ready to welcome him home. And not only welcome him home, but saying like, yo, this is a cause for celebration. So what I'm getting at is this. God's children, because remember, this sits in conjunction with the other parables. The parable of the lost coin, in which a woman lost one coin. She tears up her house until she finds that coin. And when she finds it, she's like, hey, turn up without my money. Right? And then the lost shepherd, the lost sheep, in which the shepherd leaves his other sheep, making sure that they're taken care of, to go find that one sheep, finds it, bring them back to the flock. Like, this is all about God preserving what's his. He who begins a good work in you will bring it to completion, right? Mm-hmm. Which is, again, this is God protecting his interest, right? Protecting his children. And so when you see somebody who walks away from the faith, the question becomes, do they belong to God or not? Because if they belong to God, there's this, they're going to be back, and we're going to pray for them to come back. If they don't belong to God, we're still going to pray. We're going to pray for them. We're going to pray like, Lord, if they're not yours, we pray that you still save them. If they are yours, we pray that you bring them back. Whatever the case may be, don't let this person die in this rebellion. Right. And I think this will be a good spot to stop. When we come back on the other side of this, let's throw some music up there. When we come back on the other side of this, I want to make a case for God's blessed assurance and salvation. But let's get into some music. Let's get into a couple of songs and come back and talk about them and get back into this topic, maybe.
All right, Humble Kingz, y'all.
Humble Kingz Radio Show.
I'm tripping.
Excellence on the track.
You got the toys, we got the joy. Worldly possessions can never bring joy. You and your boys racking up coin while me and my tribe are not keen to deploy. We're on that mission, never be missing. We're on that mission, never be missing. Doing the work for the love and the fun of the ones who'll be conditioned. Just listen, don't be an addition or a slave to addiction, because it'll bottle you up and feed you false hope. It's all just fiction. We're on that mission, never be missing. We're on that mission, never be missing. Doing the work for the love and the fun of the ones who'll be conditioned. We're running out of mission.
mission. From the 4-5 to the 6-0. Mindset on vision, like we're trying to collect infinity stones. Don't start them issues, no mood swings, better lower your tone. Like Yoshimitsu, I rely on my soul, but not on my own. We feel with the peace and joy, world at the back. Trying to build that positive noise, all faith, no cap. Show love and always rejoice, not never distract. Turn chairs like this is the voice, his word be the fact.
You got the toys, we got the joy. Worldly possessions could never bring joy. You and your boys racking up coin while me and my tribe are now keen to deploy. We're on that mission, never be missing. We're on that mission, never be missing. Doing the work for the love and the fun of the ones who will be conditioned. Just listen, don't be an addiction or a slave to addiction, because it'll bottle you up and feed you false hope. It's all just fiction. We're on that mission, never be missing. We're on that mission, never be missing. Doing the work for the love and the fun of the ones who will be conditioned. Jumped at the bus, running it up. Everyone knows that I never give up. Don't need to cuss, always adjust. They're saying I'm moving too fast, it's a rush. Moving too fast like I'm gonna combust. Cruising too far like I'm still on the run. Lyrically spitting for free like I see no fee on the way that we live. Like this ain't a lie or a fairy tale. The boys that I got on my side prevail. The boys that I trust don't fail. The boys that are running it quick like Bale. This ain't a way to express your mail. Just keep it 100 and try not to fail. The fruit of the spirit should never be stale. The fruit of the spirit should never be stale. You got the toys, we got the joy. Worldly possessions could never bring joy. You and your boys racking up coin while me and my tribe are now keen to deploy. We're on that mission, never be missing. We're on that mission, never be missing. Doing the work for the love and the fun of the ones who will be conditioned. Just listen, don't be an addition or a slave to addiction, because it'll bottle you up and feed you false hope. It's all just fiction. We're on that mission, never be missing. We're on that mission, never be missing. Doing the work for the love and the fun of the ones who will be conditioned. You got the toys, we got the joy. Worldly possessions can never bring joy. You and your boys racking up coin while me and my tribe are not keen to deploy. We're on that mission, never be missing. We're on that mission, never be missing. Doing the work for the love and the fun of the ones who will be conditioned.
Humble Kingz Radio Show.
And we are back. Except for T, because he's on mute.
Yeah, I lost my headset again. This thing happens like every show. So
Oh,
I'm about
okay.
to try to reconnect this. Oh, real quick, can you hear me?
Yeah, but I'm hearing myself, so
Yeah,
I can tell you're not on the
so
headset.
I'm gonna try to get my headphones back real quick,
So
man.
we'll go to another
Take
song
another
then.
song, and I'll be right back on.
Yep.
Humble Kingz Radio Show.
You know the charge, he's still at large. And oh my God, like a thief he stole my heart. Like a thief in the night. Yeah, like a thief in the night.
I didn't know his methods. He had a strategy like he was an Ocean's 11. He planned these things when he fall was destined. Him and his whole team stole my soul like a treasure. Is it a Prince of Peace or Prince of Thieves? Robin Hood, I be robbing for good. And all he wants to do is take the sinner, me, and replace it with my inner king. He intercedes so gradually. He's sharp with his flattery. Let me know that he's in charge like a battery. So I let my guard down and he got to me. That's when he stole my heart like a robbery. It's 211s, that's to the heavens. Someone please call 911. My soul is gone and it's with the sun. Not my will, but his will be done. He's still on the run. The king of heist that paid the price and changed my life. Jesus Christ stole my heart like a thief in the night.
You know the charge, he's still at large. And oh my God, like a thief he stole my heart. Like a thief in the night. Like a thief in the night.
I was led on a blind date. They told me to go to church with a mind state and be ready to find faith. The Holy Ghost introduced the divine mate. Jesus Christ, the one that makes the sky break. This whole place vibrates and it earthquakes. While we're asleep, he made the universe wake. So please, make no mistake, he is the King of Kings and the greater grace. So why would you violate? He's way more than a fine face. He shines grace. When I was lost, the cross helped me find my way. The devil is gay and I'm straight. I made it to home plate, cause when I'm with him, is what he stole, yo, like I'm a bank.
The child, he's still alive. And oh my God, like a thief, he stole my heart. Like a thief in the night. Like a thief in the night.
Cardio Brand Larson. Stolen heart, but I ain't mad about it. They say your love is unconditional. Snatched the pieces, made a real heart out it. Stole the stone and made a real heart out it. You stole it, now control it. You stole my heart. You stole my heart. Yeah. Stole my heart.
Sleep in the night. You know the child, he's still alive. And oh my God, like a thief, he stole my heart. Like a thief in the night.
He stole my heart.
Like a thief in the night.
He stole my heart.
Yeah. He stole my heart.
He stole my heart.
Like a thief in the night. He stole my heart.
He stole my heart.
But he's coming back like a thief in the night.
He stole my heart.
Are you ready? Cause he's coming like
He stole
a
my
thief
heart.
in the night. Are you ready? He's coming like a thief in the night. Yeah. He stole my heart. Yeah.
Humble Kingz Radio Show.
And we are back. We both on mute. We are back.
Oh yes, that. Hey.
Look, I didn't mean to laugh. People, if you're listening, if you're listening on the radio, you have to see the video and then you understand. Because it was like some Chris Brown,
Crump and hey, you know, here's the thing.
Wait,
I'm not mad at any of it.
The devil is gay and I'm straight. That lie killed me. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. That lie killed me, though. That lie. Oh man, man.
Hey, honestly, to be all the way 100,
yeah, they were there.
I just want to play dominoes with these dudes. Like, I want to. Cause I can tell by this video, I was like, "Oh, y'all be clowning for real." Like, I bet you they got all the jokes.
I know, and that's why I was laughing. I'm not really laughing at them. I'm laughing at the whole. I could tell, like, it's just that kind of joking but serious thing. So just
I guarantee. I feel like they were serious with everything that they did, but it's like everything about this video told me, "Oh, these dudes are entertaining."
Yes,
yes. Like. And you know, I just want to sit down at a table and play spades with them. Like, you have no idea. Like, I feel like I feel like they roast each other on a regular.
So by the way, that's for y'all listening, that's SK. S as a snake, K as in kite.
Yeah.
And the song is called "Stole My Heart." And then the song before that is by NC. N as in Nancy, C as in Charlie. And the song is called "Mission."
Yeah, they look like they from the ones before that, like they from like North Carolina or something. Those some country boys.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah, they was in the woods with their gospel.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's like we're preaching to the squirrels, you know.
Bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, line, though. I found them. So sometimes when you're looking for people on Spotify, I don't know how it is on Apple Music, but I know when you're looking for people on Spotify, when they just say NC or the SK, sometimes when you can't find an artist, so sometimes you got to hit SK and then type in the name of the song, and that'll pop up, and then from the song you can find the artist. So on those last two songs, that's actually how I was able to find the artist.
Okay.
So
yeah, man. So yeah, NC SK, man, check them out if you like. Yeah, I honestly, man, like I hope I get to meet them someday. I just want to sit and just listen to the conversation.
Yeah, definitely, because we laugh it don't mean we didn't like SK. Trust me.
Yeah,
it's a different laugh.
I guarantee you, them boys got jokes, and I want to hear. I want them all. I'm here for all the smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question about what we're talking about. So somewhere in the Bible, and I can't remember where, and I try to find it, and I'm not doing my search right. It talks about, I don't want to say your knowledge in God, but we're talking about like your faith in God, right? Mm-hmm. We're talking about your faith, and it's talking about how you need to stay a child in your faith, right?
Stay a child in your faith?
You know, not stay a child in reading.
Are you talking,
we know we're supposed to be.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know I'm not saying it right. So it's like it's basically like just basically saying like when it comes to your faith, right? You want to think, not be a child. As far as, you know how it says, you know, when I was young, I was a child, now I think like an adult. Not that part. But we're talking about like your faith and your belief in God. Like you would believe it. So like when I tell a child they're Santa Claus, you just automatically believe it. That's your faith. Santa's going to come down the chimney. He's going to come down. So when we're talking about our faith, we should be like a child where it's somewhere in there where it talks about like you need to be like a child. Your faith needs to be like a child where you can't get too much knowledge. So you want your knowledge, but not trying to get too much knowledge. I think it was a conversation that I had with somebody when we were talking about people try so hard to prove that there is a God that they end up psyching themselves out and kind of in their self messing their own faith up because they're like, oh, I can't even prove that there is a God because I tried so hard. You get away from that faith and you're going more into that knowledge part of.
So I think that
I can prove this to you.
I think what you're talking about, as far as in regards to like being like a child, that's like when Jesus says, "Suffer the little children, let them come unto me." And I'm probably really butchering this quote right now.
Because I think I'm butchering it too.
But it said like the kingdom of heaven is filled with people like these children, or whatnot. And the way, because the way that you're talking is the way that I've heard preachers explain that. You know, when they say like having like a childlike faith. But like what exactly? Was your question is like where is that in the Bible?
So no. So my question is, do you think that is happening to some people that we say all the time you need to study the word, you need to understand the word, and we do. And I don't like to go into hardcore detail of big words or this philosophy on this, blah 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 blah, because I don't want to try to overlearn to where I'm like, oh, I know all this and this is how I can prove to you guys, and then I end up messing myself up by going, man, I'm so trying to prove that there's a God and there's a Jesus and all this so much that I can't even prove it, because really, when it comes down to it, it comes down to faith, right? I have to believe. My faith, I have to believe that God created everything that we see on this earth in 6 days and on a 7 day rest. He's always been God. There's nothing before him, there's nothing after him. I have to believe that, right? There's nothing that I can show you or prove to you that that's what it is. So you just have to believe it. So if I'm out there trying to prove that and show that, and I can't prove it, then it could mess me up. Faith rise and going, well, I can't even. So why am I believing in this? So I'm wondering if, for some people, is that happening? Mark 18, 2 and 4. Oh,
Is that what somebody's saying in the comments?
Yeah, Samantha.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw it up for you.
All right. So while you're saying that, I gotta say, okay, so because I think like you said a lot of things that could be addressed, and forgive me if I actually missed like your original statement, because you said like a lot of stuff, right? And so one of the things for sure, like you were saying like you can't prove God or something like that, or like almost like I believe in God because I have a childlike faith to believe him, but I don't necessarily have a definitive way to argue for sure that God exists. Is it? Did I understand that? Am I saying it right?
You're hitting it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I would argue that you do, but that people suppress that truth in unrighteousness, right? Like for example, we like you see here, right? Like I'm in my bedroom, right? I'm willing to assume that you never met the guy who crafted this bedroom, right?
Yeah.
All right. Would you be willing to admit that that guy at some point existed?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's made up.
Right. Because the room exists, right? Well,
right.
the same thing goes for creation. So that's why, like, the Bible will affirm that, like, really, like, there's no such thing as an atheist. Like, there's people who suppress the truth and righteousness. What truth are they suppressing? Now, they may not understand.
Give me 1 second, Samantha. Can you I think there's no Mark 18. I think you might have went to put something else, but I'm not sure what it was.
Maybe Matthew 18 is probably what she meant. That's funny. Like, I didn't even catch that when she said it, because Mark only had like 16 chapters.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, and I'm like, am I doing this wrong? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's like, do I got a slave Bible? Like they took that.
I was like, they took some stuff out, right?
Yeah. But that the guy who designed this room exists because the room itself exists. The same thing is with creation. We know that a creator exists because creation exists. But like Romans talks about how what people do is they suppress the truth and unrighteousness. They may not know the details of the gospel or even who God is, but they know that there's a God who exists. Why? Because we exist. And then you can get into other things like such as like, and it's funny, man. Like today, this is like the third time today I'm actually having this conversation. When you think about the topics of origin, morality, purpose, and destiny, really, like we have these questions of origin, like where do we come from, all of this, or morality, what makes things good or bad, or purpose, like what is our purpose for being here, destiny, where are we going from here, or whatnot. Only God is big enough to answer all four of those questions. Okay, there we go, right there. That's it. Okay, verily, verily, I say unto you, except you be converted and become as little children, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. So, yeah. All right, so Jesus is teaching. And he's teaching on, that is a lesson on humility and the way that we can come to God, to come to him with a childlike faith, and basically in terms of saying, like, listen, man, like I trust you as my father. When you say something, I'm going to believe it. And there's no way that God can lie. Whereas like if my kids come and ask me right now, like if I farted and I told my kids, well, I just stepped on a frog, right? My kids are gonna look for a frog. It was the same thing when my daddy said that. He said, hey, I'm like, daddy. He was like, I stepped on a frog. I'm over here looking for the frog, right? Because I had this childlike faith in what my daddy was saying. You know what I'm saying? And so like, yeah, that is true. Having that childlike faith and believing what God has said. What happens to kind of tie this into like what we have been talking about. You know, that childlike faith gets lost, and that humility gets lost, and all of a sudden now there's an air of arrogance that says, "I think I know a little bit more than what this Bible is saying." And you understand what I'm saying? And it's like now, all these Christians now, everybody historically has gotten it wrong. You know what? I know a little bit more. My intellect won't allow me to succumb won't allow me to succumb to what's written in this Bible anymore. Like my fanatic from the cross movement, he's a great example of that right now. Like,
right,
he believes,
and that's why I brought it up, because he talked about a class or something that he went to, and people would tell him don't do that because when people do that they lose their faith or whatever. And the first thing he said was, I didn't lose my faith because I did that. But in my head, that was the first thing that popped up when he said it. I was like, did he try so much and so hard to be able to answer questions? Because he was talking about that, about, you know, people ask me things and I really want to answer questions, and sometimes I think there are pastors out there who's afraid to say, I don't know, or we won't know this until we die, until we go to heaven. Just some questions won't get answered. You know, everything is not black and white, and sometimes we get these pastors that treat it like it's black and white. This is the answer, nothing else. You know, and it's like, and I know this because my wife.
See. There we go. Probably you can.
I don't know what that is.
It's probably your wife, because you get ready to talk about it. You started scrabbling your signal. Like, my wife, what?
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is a first. There you go. I'm about to say, just start jiggling wires.
There we go. Alright, so we're gonna go without background music. I'll fix it later.
Okay.
Alright, so anyway, what I was gonna say is my wife, she asks a lot of questions. So people got to understand, like, when she's asking questions, she's not challenging you or trying to make you look dumb to get you to say, I don't know. Like, she's literally, you know, it's not black and white. She's going to keep asking until she understands. And I see some people fight to try to answer it, and then other people are smart enough to go, I get back to you, or, hey, I don't know this. We probably won't know this unless we die. I always tell my wife, I love telling her this because it's a very true statement. Because my wife is super smart. She's very smart, so she don't have like street smarts or anything like that. So she's naive to certain things because how smart she is. But I do always tell her, I go, man, it's awesome and it's a miracle in itself that you are saved because of how smart you are. You literally believe that a woman was a virgin and it got pregnant, it gave birth to the Messiah who did all these miracles and then died, came back to life 3 days later, walked the earth for 40 days, and his whole body ascended to the heaven. And at some point when we die, we're going to go there with him. You know, I was like, so it's a miracle in itself that she believes that. And when I actually think about it all the time, I think how awesome that is that how smart she can, and how everything that my wife believes in, it has to be a science. She has to look it up, Google it, see black and white, compare notes, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to the Bible, she doesn't. Now, she's going to ask and she wants questions. She wants that understanding. But it's not that, like, is there really a God? Is there really a Jesus? Was there really a Mary? None of that. You know, it says in the Bible, she believes it. That's the faith, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but sometimes she'll want to know, like, sometimes there's things you'll read in the Bible. It's like, hey, I want to believe this, but I don't know what it means, and you have the questions about that type of thing.
Yeah,
right. You know.
Yeah.
So
and the question is more just trying to get that understanding. And now, I think with some people, sometimes they work so hard to to give people like my wife that answer, that they end up psyching themselves out. And it's like, don't. If you can't, then you can't.
Yeah. Being able to know how to say, "Oh, I don't know how to answer that." That's an okay thing, because nobody has ever been saved because they know everything there is to know. Matter of fact, there are just some things that aren't for us to know. However, on the flip side, there is a lot of things that you to know. Like the Bible, in those 66 books, excuse me, in those 66 books, there is a plethora of information to keep us going. I remember when I first started preaching, I used to be scared about running out of things to preach about. But let me tell you this.
You were scared to...
Yeah.
Okay.
right. Because I was like, man, but then the only thing that did was to really like thinking back, like what that means is just that really, like, I really didn't know. Like I was really only scratching the surface of Christianity. And as time progressed, I've noticed that, like, over the years, from dealing with the scripture, I've actually grown in certain areas to where it's like, now there used to be stuff that I used to believe that I was taught came out of the Bible. When I actually got into the Bible, I was like, wait a minute, that's not in there, or that's not what this passage means, and so forth, because I've learned how to like exegete a text. I've learned how to mine for context, and I learned how to pick out things. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect at it. I'm not saying that I'm like this. I know what I believe and why I believe it, and I can make a sound biblical argument on my position from where I stand. You know what I mean? And so when somebody comes and asks me a question, I will be answering. I'll say, hey, listen, here's how I understand it based upon, and I'll go and I'll map out biblical reasoning, right? If I don't have a biblical reasoning for something theological, but I may have for example, I may have like a theory, I'll say, hey, based upon my biblical reasoning, this is what I think, but I can say I can say, but I'm pulling that implication from a biblical truth as opposed to an explicit truth. Basically, what I'm saying is, it's like there may not be a scripture that explicitly, for example, the doctrine of the Trinity, right? The word Trinity isn't in the Bible. The word Trinity is a word that came up when people started questioning the nature of God historically in church history, right? And so in order to identify people who stuck to the biblical doctrine of God, we became known as Trinitarians, because we believe that the Bible teaches that. The Bible does not say the word Trinity, but it teaches that the Father is God. It teaches that the Son is God, and it teaches that the Spirit is God, and it teaches that these three persons are distinct from each other, but it also teaches that there is one God. From the explicit truth of the Father being God, but the Father not being the Son, and from the explicit truth of the Son being God, but the Son not being the Spirit, and from the explicit truth of the Spirit being God, but the Spirit not being the Father, I'm able to imply that the doctrine of the Trinity is biblical, right? So there's a lot of things that you can mine from Scripture, right, based upon explicit truths, and so you can get these answers, right? And people will have these questions, and they'll say, well, they'll say, well, why does God allow evil in the world? Well, when we look at it, we see that everything has a purpose, even the evil for the day of destruction, even the wicked for the day of destruction. Well, we learn that God is glorified in both good and in bad things. Like being able to answer those questions oftentimes are good ways. They'll serve in times of having to minister to somebody who has to deal with maybe like the death of their child or a loved one or whatever. Somebody who has to deal with the fact that they're stuck with this terminal disease and it doesn't look like God is going to be healing them from it. Or what about when they lose their home and they don't have anywhere to live? What about when they start losing their job? What about when their spouse leave them? Oh, the spouse, all of these things, and the question becomes, what how do you answer when you live in a society that dehumanizes unborn children so much that where it's like, hey, it's okay to kill them. Let's wipe them from the map. Your baby about to have Down syndrome? Let's kill it. Like, why put yourself through that, right? Let me ask you something. Matter of fact, like when you, I don't know, that's actually gonna take us into a whole nother conversation. I want to do that, but what I'm saying, like when you live in a world like this, right? When you live in a world with all of this turmoil and chaos, and people start asking the questions of why, being able to have an understanding that, hey, well, because God is sovereign, and there's a reason and there's a purpose to all of this. Being able to answer those questions is good. Science, people think science is against religion. Science was formed because of religion. I don't think that. I want to encourage people, man. Like, go on YouTube. There was a documentary called Expelled, No Intelligence Allowed, and it's about how these scientists were getting kicked out of their institutions because they were saying, "Hey, science points to a creator." You know, they say like if we're doing right science, like it only makes sense to say that, hey, a creator was here to put this in place because otherwise, otherwise none of this would make sense. And so because of them making that declaration, they would get they kind of get blackballed in the science community. Also, I want to recommend a couple of books while we're talking. This one right here, let me see here. Let me see, pow. It's called The Doctrine of God by Christopher B. Kaiser. It's actually a historical survey of how people came about to what we consider to be orthodox theology, orthodox doctrine, normal biblical doctrine about God, and it's a historical survey. It talks about some of the big names throughout church history who have helped nail some of the doctrines out of Scripture. And this guy, he does a fantastic job of really appealing to the Scriptures to make his case. And then also like this, Herman Bavinck. If you've never heard of Herman Bavinck, get to know. I'm trying to get it to where the light is in it. And it's called The Wonderful Works of God. The Wonderful Works of God is also a book. I'm currently reading this one. Again, it deals with some of the things that, some of the stuff that you were talking about earlier. Like when you're talking about like the knowledge of God, like knowing who God is, like you're not necessarily in an attempt to try to prove him, but to say like, yo, the proof is already out there. Like you don't really have to do much to try to prove him. It's just like, yo, just look around. Like he has to be real. Like it doesn't make sense for him not to be. You know what I mean, and so forth. So yeah, I know it's 8:01. We kind of went over our time, and I know I got to get out of here.
Yeah, let me get this last song in so we can close, or I'll close by myself if you got to run out.
Yeah, I'm gonna step away for a quick second, but yeah, let's get it going.
I'm a Kingz, y'all.
I'm not alone. I'm not alone. Yeah. Having faith is something different, man, it's hard to see. When the devil laugh at you and say it's make believe. Elohim, I trust you different like a mustard seed. Walking through these trials, I can see the heaven speaks. I got some dreams, but I'm feeling old, can barely breathe. Vision foggy, but I know you see it differently. The flesh like Eve chose the apple, then the word of peace. But we free by the sun, we not his enemies. All these tribulations only really building me. All these voices in my head got no control of me. This when I realize I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I'm not alone with you, Jesus. Yeah, I'm not alone. Lord, I'm walking on this path. Father, take me home. If it wasn't for your love, I'll be dead and gone. Holy Spirit by my side, lover of my soul. Having faith is something different, man, it's hard to see. When the devil laugh at you and say it's make believe. Elohim, I trust you different like a mustard seed. Walking through these trials, I can see that heaven speaks.
So pretend like it says Humble King Radio Show because I disconnected my board. Can't hear you.
Man, I want to. Is that how that video stopped?
Yes.
Oh, I was about to say, did it freeze or?
No, that's how I stopped. Actually, man, that was a real good video.
Well, I thought really, really good video. I could tell he's a young Christian.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that he was saying, but like, that was a really good video.
Yeah.
I thought it looked really good.
Yeah, the effects in that video was awesome. So real quick before we get out of here, and T, you can close up however you want. Just talk about this real quick. Don't forget the virtual college tours is coming March 5th. Tomorrow is the last day for sign up, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, tomorrow's the last day for sign ups. So if you're looking to sign up for this virtual tour, or know anybody who wants to sign up for it, please make sure you sign up by tomorrow, 402-915-2586. If you need a ride, they will provide it. First Student is providing the ride. So all you got to do is sign up. There's no excuses for you not to go there. And they're going to have food for you. So you have no excuse. Sign up, get picked up, go to this virtual college tour, get fed, have fun, get a ride back home. And I guess I got to take it down first. There we go. And coming May 21st, and I could not download this video when they let me download it, so I work on it this weekend. Live Loud 2022. This is going to be at Hillside Church in Blair, 1133 North 28th Avenue in Blair, Nebraska. So One Life, T. Barlow, K Drama, Resound, Jarrell Roach is going to be awesome. I'll be DJing like always, because I'm the Live Loud DJ.
I hope y'all looking forward to some new music from T. Barlow that night. I heard that guy's working on a bunch of stuff.
I'm looking forward to it. And I really enjoy DJing for K Drama. I tell people some people ask me, they're like, "Oh, what was the highlight of your DJing career?" And I always say DJing for K Drama, because I love his music, and dude is so humble and so nice and everything. So Roger said he was really excited that I was going to be DJing again, because he appreciated how I DJ'd and everything.
I was hanging with Roger last night, and he and I were working on a little something together, and then really, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the bug out in your ear. There's a plan for a Humble Kingz project. It's all just in the works now, so y'all be praying for that, man, because we want to see this come to fruition. I'm actually excited about this. And Roger is sitting on some heat when it comes to like these instrumentals, and a couple of these beats come from K Drama. I can't even whistle right now, but dude, and he played me a couple of, and then man, his other homie, snap, why can't I think of homie's name now? But anyway, I can't think of dude's name. Just the instrumentation, and I'm just saying, because like the stuff that these beats are inspiring. I'm trying to tell you, you're gonna want to be down with this project, man. So y'all keep us in prayer as we're working on that. Y'all keep me in prayer as I'm trying to wrap up. Last night I had the opportunity to record the last song for part 2 of The Potter, The Walk. Oh, I'm so excited about this album. You have no idea. I'm so excited. Yeah, man. So yeah, it's gonna be something else. So yeah, man. So I'm hoping to be able to have some of that music together. By the time this concert gets into place, as long with some T Barlow merch and all that other stuff, so we see what's what with that.
Nice.
So, man. Listen, I got to get out of here, man. I got to meet somebody in about.
We're out of here. So. Peace. Thank you guys for listening. Everybody who watched last week, I think we reached like over 2,000 people. It's what the thing said popped up. Yeah. So awesome. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys next week.
Grace and peace. Love y'all to life.
Peace. All right, bro.
All that like a Mando, we poppin' like Fanta. Find us guilty even when we put our hands up. I need some answers, stress, I need a back rub. Time to go to work, peep the Birdman hand rub. Last night was a movie and we got it on camera. All I see is cap and some credit card scammers. Highlight reels and TikTok dancers. Less than 1K that she probably won't dance. Keeping up with the Joneses, that can be stressful. Yeah, I broke my chains trying to shine with a neck full. I'm getting married in mid-20s, a new flex. I'm a vet, 5 liter, I don't need a blue check. They just bit the apple, want the green like Samsung. All night G-Flex game on Samsung. They ain't getting likes, buying bots, throwing tantrums. Scriptures in they bios, don't know God, they just a fan of. For the real, with the streets and then it never prepares you. When you're in your own lane, there's no one to compare to. Instagram famous, yes, it's tempting. DMs full, but your spirit man's empty. What's on the other side of the camera? She a free spirit, but her soul in that slammer. Your whole life's in that phone. Celebrity on earth and heaven on. All that like a Mando, we poppin' like Fanta. Find us guilty even when we put our hands up. I need some answers, stress, I need a back rub. Time to go to work, peep the Birdman hand rub. Last night was a movie and we got it on camera. All I see is cap and some credit card scammers. Highlight reels and TikTok dancers. Less than 1K, then she probably won't answer, yeah.
And you got some high standards, yeah. Like shorty with your manners, yeah. Looking happy on camera, yeah. But I can see it's still damaged. First they show their loyalty and then they go and vanish. Got a lot going on, I know it's hard to manage. Trying to find your work by breaking all those bad habits. Insecure, trying to find that cure and how to get famous. Now it's getting dangerous, look at who's remaining. Pulling yourself out, losing yourself, you got yourself caged in. Assuming everyone's hating, attention that you're craving. You soon will be awakened, I promise it'll make sense. Please don't waste your time trying to fix your own lives, cause you can't lose when you're on your own time, following your own guidelines.
All that like a Mando, we poppin' like Fanta. Find us guilty even when we put our hands up. I need some answers, stress, I need a back rub. Time to go to work, peep the Birdman hand rub. Last night was a movie and we got it on camera. All I see is cap and some credit card scammers. Highlight reels and TikTok dancers. Less than 1K, then she probably won't answer, yeah.
Alright, that's the show. Peace. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. Like always. Till next week. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Hey everybody, it's Jonathan Sanders here, Minister of Music at Redbridge Ministries. And hey, we need you. If you are gifted in media, you sing, you dance, you work with cameras, listen, there's a place for you here at Redbridge. If you want to be a part, contact us at 402-779-9823. I can't wait to hear from you. I'll see you soon.
Beep, 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 beep.